guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since I shot a video all by myself. In the last few episodes I had interviews or conversations or manversations with some of my friends. So today I decided to do something a bit more different. I wanted to be in the hot seat by myself with a ghost speaker in the background who's going to ask me a couple of questions. Now, I don't know, he has not prepared the questions, so it's a free flow conversation and I'm quite worried about some of the questions he's going to ask. So let's get into the first question. But before he does that, let me take a sip of my drink just to calm myself down because I'm honestly quite nervous about this particular segment. So here goes.
So in these trying times, TKay, with the COVID-19 and all that shebang, what really inspires you?
I think what inspires me is I'm in a state of gratitude, what I call my state of gratitude. So I wake up every morning and I realize that COVID is here. We just come out of a lockdown a couple of weeks ago. I wake up in the morning, I'm just like, I'm so grateful for one, I have a salary. And my salary has not been cut in any way. I have a house that is very beautiful. Yes, cost me a lot of money, but I love my space. I am grateful for the fact that I wake up in the morning and have something to eat. So I think I've gone back to the very, very basics. But beyond that, what excites me as well is on the more personal side is I get to create stories that I share with people, either through my blogs, either through my YouTube channel. So for me, the lockdown and COVID has been an opportunity for me to really share my story. And people always think that I am such a perfectionist and people think I'm such an achiever and they think I have my shit, sorry for the words, but they think I have my shit together. But what they don't realize and what the COVID pandemic has taught me is to share a bit of the other side that I don't normally share, the vulnerable TKay, the angry, the bitter, the jealous, the judgy, the judgy TKay. So for me, the COVID-19 has been an opportunity for me to introspect and to tell that side of the story that a lot of people do not know about me. And I think this came through in the Meet My Friends series. It comes through with my blog post where I'm literally just opening myself up and saying, guys, I am not as perfect as people think or deem it to be. So yeah, that has been the story.
Oh, that's beautiful. So what do you think your purpose in this universe is?
I think my purpose, this also goes back to the lockdown, where I had a moment for the very first time to be by myself. So for me, my purpose is to uplift people. And what I mean by that is anybody who knows TKay is all about, get your money right, save, invest, get your finances in order. And for me, that's my contribution to humanity in the sense that if I can help people transform their finances, it's not necessarily always about the finances. It is about what the finances mean for them. And the finances is just a tool in a way. But for me, what that means is it's about transforming you from a state where you thought you could not do it to a point where you say, hold on, I actually then did that. I moved from being heavily in debt to being debt free. For me, it's not about the money per se. The money is the vehicle. For me, what it's about is about that transformation of you realizing just how brilliant you are as a human being to stepping into an era where you say, oh my goodness, I am better than I used to think I was. I am better than society has prescribed, So for me, my purpose in life is unleashing those limitations we have as people to say that, who am I? And I always go back to my favorite quote by Marianne Williamson. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful. So my purpose in life is to unleash that power, guys. And I do that through getting your money right, because if you're empowered about your money, you feel like, if I can get my finances right, I can get my relationship right, I can get my well-being right, my psychology, everything else in between. So for me, I'm about the empowerment of people and the unleashing of people's absolute best. And I think I always go back to my name. My name, TKay. So I am here to fix Hanaga Sesotho twing. Yes. So I think I'm owning my name and its purpose, and I'm defining that for me and what I want to be remembered for one day when I die.
I love that. Thank you so much, TK. This was very beautiful. One last question though. Would you say it has always been this easygoing for you to find yourself for self-actualization, or it's been a journey to where you are now?
I think it's still a journey. It has not been very easy. Like, I would honestly say it has not been very easy to get to the point where I am now. It came with having to put myself out there. It came with me having to deal with my own insecurities. And a lot of people look at my life and they think my life is so perfect, it's so perfectly curated. And I'll go back as far back as high school. And in fact, not even high school, primary school. So primary school, people used to call me names. I won't get into the details of the names, but they used to call me names that made me feel inadequate, that made me feel like I was not good enough. And for the longest of times, I wanted to prove these people that no, you can't call me names when I am the A student, when I'm the top achiever. You can't call me names when I am slaying my academics and I'm slaying sports, I'm slaying everything else in between. So growing up, I had to prove to myself and I seek people's validation. I remember in the last video, I also spoke about seeking validation from my family. I think this was in a conversation with Amuela, where I was saying I was looking for validation. And high school was the same narrative. Varsity, I got to varsity and I was like, let me explore who TK is, But the achiever in me was still there. So I was still part of various varsity societies. I was still at every party. I was still the student chairperson of this. So I was very big on that. But for me, coming back to Lesotho, realizing that I don't live in Pretoria anymore because I studied in Pretoria and I love the big city, I love the fashion, I loved all of that. Coming back to my Seru, I went through a phase of depression, particularly in 2013, where I felt like I did not belong. I did not belong in my Seru, I did not belong in my Fedei, I did not belong in Lesotho. Well, at least that's what I felt. And I had to come back to a point to say, what does being back here mean for me, My friends were in Joburg, my friends were in Pretoria, my friends were overseas. And I had to come back and redefine what my life is. And I started to say, okay, fine, let me break out of this. Let me travel a bit, get to explore different cultures. Let me get to meet different people. Let me get involved in the Lesotho lifestyle, in the Maseru lifestyle. So I got involved in different activities. And through that network, I started to find people who are like-minded. I started to find stories that relate to mine and resonate with who I am. Other times I would cry. Yes, I cry a lot. People don't know this about me. And the crying was predominantly because I felt like I was never good enough. I remember a point in time where people were like, no, you should be in front of the camera. And I was like, oh, me in front of the camera? How do I even sit in front of the camera? No. And in retrospect, the issue was not being in front of the camera. The issue was putting myself out there, saying something, and then being exposed to other subject matter experts who can come back and criticize what I know. So for me, that confidence boost came, I think, last year. And last year, specifically when I got to the United States of America through the yearly fellowship, where I was really affirmed to say that, child, you are doing well. I remember I would post a blog post and I'll go back and I'll look at how many likes and comments. I'll do a WhatsApp video, a WhatsApp status, and I kept going back. And everything that I was doing was looking for validation. So I got to a point where I was like, you know what? It's not going to come. Or whatever that validation you're seeking is not going to come. You are your own cheerleader. So when you ask me, has it been easy? It has not been easy at all. I've gone through phases where I wanted to quit. I've gone through phases where I wanted to leave Lesotho. I've gone through phases where I wanted to leave my job. I've gone through phases where I thought my business was booming. I've gone through phases where I thought, Kituki, so do you know who I am? Do you know what I've achieved? I've got flipping 5 degrees with a master's, with one of them being a master's degree. And still, I did not feel like I was good enough. And came back to me saying, hold down, calm down. Where you are, what you've achieved, that's your best. And commit to improving your best, not for anybody else, but for me. So when people ask me, has it been easy? No. Every single day I wake up and I want to cry. Every single day. Some days I wake up and I'm like, yes.
And it's a journey.
It's a journey. It's a journey. And you're never gonna, for me, I always say success is not a destination. Success is, it's what you define it. It's what you want it to be. So I got to a point to say, yes, I may not have the likes on Instagram. I may not have the followers on Facebook or Twitter. I may not have the subscribers that I desire on YouTube. But it's a journey. I wake up every day and I get it done and I improve and I commit doing that. And at the end of it all, I do it because I enjoy it. I love it. I am learning from it. Not because it's what people expect or what I think people expect of me. No, it's about me and doing what makes my cup full to a point where it's running over. I love that quote.
One last question. I know I said that was the last question. just one more. One last question. It's been interesting, you meet a number of people, they always tell you how they deal with failures. There's so many concepts and theories regarding failures. What's your take on failure? Do you even believe in failures? How do you deal with failures?
Whew. I think particularly the last few episodes I've talked about failure a lot. I've talked about failure and I'll speak predominantly in my professional career. So 2015, I got appointed as a manager. And guys, I went through the most, hey? The team, I went through the most. I used to come home and I would cry myself to sleep. And other days I'll be like, you know what, I'm gonna show them. Do they know who I am? But at the end of it all, I would come back and I'll look myself in the mirror and I'll feel so empty, drained. And no matter how much I convinced myself that they were wrong, I was right. They were right, I was wrong. I felt empty. And I felt like I was really not getting through to the team that I was leading at the point in time. And I left the team in 2018, changed jobs, went to a different organization, came back. And for me, I always felt like as a people manager, I was failing. And no matter what I did, I was still failing. So for me, I've had to come to terms with the fact that failure is part of the process. It is not easy. It really is not easy, but it's about how you perceive failure. So for me, failure was, yes, I can't get through to the team. I can't get the team to achieve what we set out to achieve. And failure is also realizing that not everybody's going to like you, not everybody's going to appreciate your approach. But what I learned was to be true to yourself and to be true to the process. Failure for me was waking up and giving up. That for me was failure. But every single day I got up, no matter how challenging, how difficult, how frustrated I was, waking up and showing up. I'm advocating showing up.
Yes.
Bruises and all. You know when you just like eye bags and you look like crap.
On.
Or you have your hair looking like this. And you're like, I have not seen my barber in days, and your shirt is wrinkled, but you show up. For me, that's what my definition of failure has been. We have this negative connotation towards failure. And with each failure I've experienced, I've learned so much more. I now know how to speak to people better. I now know how to address situations better because I failed, I hit rock bottom, and I got up. So every single time I get up and pull myself out of that, no matter how challenging or frustrating or how impossible it seems, for me, that is the beauty of failure, because you get to learn. It's a state, it's a chapter, it's a page, it's an episode. We need to get up and keep on going, no matter how hard it is. For me, failure is not getting up. So I choose to embrace the failure because every day I get up, I fail, I fall, I get up, I fall again, I cry, I get criticized, I get I get damaged. Damaged. Whether it's in a romantic relationship, which does not exist, or whether it's in my professional space, or also in the business space where you come up with a pitch, you write an amazing thing, and you just don't get the client and you don't get that money. For me, that's failure. But what's important is the lessons that comes with that particular failure. I always go back. Well, recently I've gone back to say that, you know what, that situation failed. I didn't fail. The situation failed. What are the learnings I'm taking out of this? Learn the lessons, get up, improve, and keep on going. Showing up for me is what is important. If you don't show up, then that's when you failed. Yeah.
I love that, TKay. Thank you so much. It's a wrap.